that will exclude the holy people, the Christians living today, because we will have already been gathered together with the Lord Jesus Christ in the air and given our new spiritual bodies. Also at that future resurrection time, the people who will be judged, and for those who will receive compensation from God, are the people being fearful towards your name, or God's name. Those who are being afraid at the consequences of their performance of any wrong behavior. And so they would have manifested the proper or correct awe and respect that is rightfully due towards God. They should have shown him awe and respect, and they would have, because they were afraid of the consequences of any wrong behavior on their part. They knew God was powerful in that he would implement his judgments at the time of resurrection. It continues and said, "And the small and the great people, from little to large, junior to senior, doesn't matter what status you may have had while you were living on the earth, people from all ranks, they will be judged." And they continue, "And to truly corrupt." Who? Who would be caused corruption or decay? The people who truly corrupted the earth. Yes, those who truly corrupt the earth or cause decay on the earth, those who reject God and His Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, will receive through a thorough, complete corruption. That will be the correct implementation of judgment for those people. As we continue in verse 19 of chapter 11, we'll see that the first part of verse 19 continues regarding things that take place in heaven, whereas in the second part of verse 19, we'll see that it relates to events or things taking place or occurring on earth. So let's continue in verse 19, and we read in the first part of verse 19 that the interior temple of God, that is the innermost part of God's temple, His true temple, emphatically and specifically the interior temple in the heaven, that is where God will be at the time of these occurrences. It opened, the interior temple of God in the heaven opened. So John, receiving revelation, could see the interior temple of God in the heaven open. And the ark of his covenant. The ark means like a box or a chest, the vessel built to contain items pertaining to the covenant, God's binding agreement with his people. So the ark of the covenant was seen. It was presented to be perceived with the eyes and known by the one looking at it. John could see the ark of the covenant. It was opened in the temple, and the ark of his covenant was seen within his temple. And there came to pass to be what? This is the second part of verse 19. What was the result of John seeing the interior temple of God open in the heaven? What happened on the earth as a result? There became lightnings, sudden, speedy flashes of shining light, bright light, a quick supply of light, and sounds, voices or other tones could be heard, and thunders, rolling or rumbling sounds. And we know that that figuratively refers to God's presence and his expression of command, judgment, and righteousness, or justice in action. And quakes, seismic events occurred, and great hail, large hailstones on the earth. As we continue in chapter 12 of Revelation, we see that verses 12 through 14 contain the prophecy regarding past, present, and future, pertaining and providing additional details of the events leading up to the return of the Lord Jesus Christ on earth, which we'll read about in detail in Revelation chapters 19 and 20. So let's begin by looking at Revelation 12, verses 1 through 12, and this records what John saw regarding the events taking place in heaven. Now again, we're going to look back into heaven by means of what John saw by revelation. So we're going to look at events taking place in heaven. Also want to mention here that what we're about to read, these verses continue to reveal the full scope of the redemption and salvation that is written in the stars and the constellations in heaven.